I will call a regular meeting of the Board of Education to order. At this time, I'd like to announce that we did hold an executive session at 7 o'clock for the purpose of discussing a legal matter of personnel. And I would ask you now to rise and join me in this flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. At this time, I'll turn the agenda over to Mr. Nagel. He's going to swear in some call.
Would you raise your right hand, please, and repeat after me? I, William Palmer, do solemnly swear that I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this Commonwealth, and that I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity. Congratulations. Great. Thank you.
Congratulations, Mr. Palmer.
Thanks.
Now you can answer the roll call.
I was wondering.
We were going to do you on the solicitor's report, but we realized you couldn't vote on the minutes.
Mrs. Leisure, would you please call the roll?
Yes. Mrs. Elder. Here. Mr. Hauser. Mrs. Kozar. Here. Dr. Laughlin. Here. Mrs. Haynes.
Here.
Mr. Moeller.
Here.
Mr. Music.
Here.
Mr. Palmer.
Here.
And Dr. Zorch.
Here.
Thank you, Mrs. Leisure. This is hearing of visitors part 1, the part of the agenda that allows any member of the audience to address the board on anything on tonight's agenda. And there will be another opportunity at the end of the meeting to address the board on any other matter. Does anyone wish to address the board on anything on tonight's agenda? And if so, please approach the podium and state your name and address. Okay, seeing none. I will move for adoption of resolution number 106, the approval of minutes for the regular meeting held on November 19th and the reorganization and the committee of the whole meeting held December 2nd, 2013.
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded. We adopt resolution number 106. All those in favor, please, any discussion on that question? All those in favor then please say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Thank you. That passes unanimously. Solicitors report, Mr. Nagel.
No report, Madam President.
Thank you. Legislative report, Dr. Laughlin. No report. Thank you.
Let me say something about the legislation. I saw an article in the paper today about the charter school bill. And part of the bill was that private universities would be getting involved with education.
The bill, as it states now, gives colleges and universities the ability to approve charter school applications. I know that that's been a topic of conversation back and forth between the House and the Senate. So PSBA has come out publicly to not support, I think it's House Bill 1085, I believe.
Where did that come from?
I have no idea.
That's
I really
a new
don't.
one. I haven't seen that anywhere until today when I read the paper.
The charter / public school group is very large and very powerful in certain sections of the state. And there is also a problem with some state universities and private universities that there's a dearth of students in some majors, and maybe they're just trying to help each other out a little bit.
Well, from what I read more about it, it seems like, as of right now, with the way the charter schools are set up, it must be presented to the school district, the school board, who votes on it, and the public has a little bit of a say where the money goes. In this case, it looks like they're totally immune from that, that they don't have to present it to anybody. So taxpayers' dollars will follow a private university school if they approve a charter, which will be approved by the state. So it takes away the local taxpayers' control of public education again. From my reading of it, I think I'm reading it correctly.
I'm part of a public education group, and they're talking about attempts to weaken public education, even as it's being criticized so much for test scores and all those kinds of things. And this is another symptom of all of that. And, you know, politics makes strange bedfellows. You can get people who are looking at one end who see that they might reach that end by bringing somebody else onto their wagon, and they'll pick them up.
Unbelievable.
The taxpayers need to have a wagon.
Yes.
Absolutely. Any more comments? Okay, under education and planning, I'd like to introduce Mr. Lacasia and introduce tonight's presentation.
It is my pleasure to introduce to you our choral director, Rachel Certain, who has students here with her today from the Chamber Choir.
Good evening, and Chamber Choir is standing right outside, so you guys can start to follow with violin. Thank you so much for inviting us to perform for you this evening. I have to share with you that it has been a true pleasure working here at Greater Latrobe just for the past few months. The students, faculty, and staff alike have all been incredibly welcoming. I think you'd agree that these students are truly exceptional, and I've walked into a wonderful program, and we only continue to get better, so I hope that you enjoy our small performance for you this evening. So here's a few members of our chamber choir. Chamber choir is usually 33 voices, but these are the folks who could make it this evening, so I hope you enjoy. I'm not sure if the piano is, so let's see.
Here we come a-wassailing among the leaves so green. Here we come a-wandering so fair to be seen. Love and joy come to you, your bus and to your wife so blessed. And God send you a happy new year, and God send you a happy new year.
Our wassail cup is made of the rosemary tree, and so is your beer of the best barley.
Love and joy come to you, your bus and to your wife so blessed. And God send you a happy new year, and God send you a happy new year.
Call up the butler of this house, put on his golden ring. Let him bring us up a glass of beer, and better we shall sing.
Love and joy come to you, your bus and to your wife so blessed. And God send you a happy new year, and God send you a happy new year.
God bless the master of this house,
Likewise the mistress too,
and all the little children that round the table go.
love and joy
Come to you,
your bus and to your wife so blessed.
and God send you a happy new year,
And God send you a happy new year.
Next up is a Christmas classic, Carol of the Bells.
seems to hear words of the cheer from everywhere, filling the air. Oh, how they pound, raising the sound, join in the dance, and the sounds. Gay, merry, wild people sing songs of the cheer. Christmas is here. Ding dong, ding dong, ding ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, holidays and dawn with the end. Ding dong, dong, you every home, dark on the bells, sweet silver bells, songs seem to sing, from cares away. Christmas is here, bringing good cheer to every home. Ding in the dong, ding dong, that is their song. Ding dong, ding dong, heavenly. One seems to hear words of the cheer from everywhere, filling the air. Oh, how they now raising the sound, joy in the dale, telling the tales. Gay, wild people sing songs of the cheer. Christmas is here. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, holidays and dawn with the end. Ding dong, dong, to every home.
Holidays and dawn with the end. Their jungle tone to every home.
Ding dong, ding dong.
The next legend is Angels We Have Heard on High.
Angels we have heard on high, sweetly singing o'er the plains, and the mountains in reply, echoing their joyous strains. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Come to Bethlehem and see him whose birth the angels sing. Come adore on bended knee Christ the Lord, the newborn King. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Gloria in excelsis Deo.
Just two more songs for you. This next one is the Christmas song, and I'm thrilled to share with you that we submitted this to the radio station Froggy 94.9 for their contest, their holiday sing-off, and it was accepted. So they're going to let me know when it airs, and we have a chance to win a $500 cash prize for the choral department. So get on your Facebook, like the Froggy page, then you need to like our recording. I'll send out an email when it's posted. So here's the Christmas song.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire, Jack Frost nipping at your nose, Yuletide carols being sung by a choir, and folks dressed up like Eskimos. Everybody knows a turkey and some mistletoe help to make the season bright. Tiny tots with their eyes all aglow will find it hard to sleep tonight. They know that Santa's on So we're offering this simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas to you.
Final selection for this evening is Joy to Grow.
Joy to the world, the Lord has come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare him room. And heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing. Joy to the world, the Savior reigns. Let men their songs employ, while fields and floods, while fields and plains. Repeat the sounding joy, repeat the sounding joy, repeat the sounding joy. He rules the world with truth and grace, and makes the nations prove the glories of his righteousness, and wonders of his love, and wonders of his love, and wonders of his love.
Final shameless plug. Our holiday performance is next Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. here in the auditorium. It is the combined choral and band performance, and it's going to be spectacular. So we can't wait to see all of you there. Great. I have to say that's the most delightful curriculum and planning we've had for a while. I think we should do that every meeting. That was absolutely
Yeah,
fantastic.
can't we do that every night, just, different holiday or event? That would be.
We certainly thank, please thank them, Steve, they left it, they did a marvelous job, put everybody in holiday spirit.
I will, thank you.
And the only other thing I have this evening is the next curriculum meeting will be held on Tuesday, January the 21st at 5:30 p.m. here in the CSC. So, and then we'll turn it over to Mrs. Elder for finance.
Thank you. I'd like to combine moving for the adoption of resolution number 107, 108, and 109. And move for their adoption.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. We adopt resolutions number 107, 108, and 109. Any questions, comments, or discussion on any of those resolutions? Hearing none. All those in favor of approving all three, please say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? And those pass unanimously.
And the Finance Committee meeting minutes from last week are in your material this evening. And is there anything that we need to remind ourselves of, Mr. Wilson, or anything?
We have to make a decision in the month of January whether or not to adopt the resolution stating that the district will operate within the Act 1 index, or adopt the preliminary budget in early February. So that will be coming up in the month of January. We'll be doing a budget presentation for you. We'll be having a lot more detailed discussion at our January 8th Finance Committee meeting regarding that as well. So,
as you will note in the minutes, the Finance Committee has recommended that we do operate within the index this year. Okay, so the next Finance Committee meeting will occur Wednesday, January 8th at 10 a.m. at the admin building. That's the end of my report.
Thank you, Mrs. Elder. Property and Supply, Mrs. Kozar.
Yes, I just lost one. I was looking for my attachment. I got it. No, I got it. Our first is Kurt. Kurt. The monthly update, Casper.
Yes, project update.
Thank you.
I will not be singing that. November overall, weather-wise, is always kind of tracked the weather and how it's affecting construction. No major events. We did have some weather right before Thanksgiving that did slow the construction of your upper multi-purpose field. We're about 90% complete on that. The exception being the rubber infill, which is why you see 208-ton bags of rubber by the junior high school. We're looking at about 3 to 4 days of good weather continuous to get that completed sometime here this month. As always, working on Gertner stuff. Sorry.
Good weather basically means no snow on the ground and no snow coming. So, we'll just do that. It's not temperature sensitive as much as it's precipitation sensitive because of the snow.
The gluing process, temperature sensitive, rubber infill is precipitation sensitive. Your GC general contractor, Gertner Sons, they have the majority of the work ongoing right now. We are painting, we are wrapping up windows, lockers, ceramic tile, ceiling tile, insulation, ceiling grid, curtain wall, doors, all the fun activities that to get your finishes complete. I anticipate a completion time by mid-January to January as far as their work to be completed. Other primes, as far as mechanical, electrical, and plumbing, have trim work. Basically, all the rough ends behind the wall above ceiling is complete. We're down to installing the actual china fixtures, trim devices, which is your outlet covers, lights, and the like. Custom contracting, as far as also the site work, some fencing to do. Probably will be some cleanup in the springtime as far as some finished grade work, some seating, things that we can't honestly do in December. So we'll have to do some of those activities here in the spring. As always, progress is keep plugging along. Nothing as far as change orders or surprises by the contractors as far as additional work. We are tracking a couple of things that I'll probably bring to the board next month to take place, but as far as change orders, nothing occurring this month. The big, kind of deal now is as far as schedule getting complete. All we want for Christmas is to get your building to you and move on. So, other than that, I don't have much to share. Billing has been, as far as percentages wise, which is fine with their line of work, where they're at as far as completion. Again, nothing surprises me there. So, keep, like I said, keep plugging along. We're nearing the home stretch. So, any other questions or comments?
There is such a thing, as snow season.
Yeah, that's when we're trying to get finished before it starts.
But no, that's all I have. So.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. The property supply committee meeting minutes are an attachment to your agenda, and you can look over those at your leisure. And our next property supply meeting is January 9th, 3:30 at the Central Building. And now it's my pleasure
are here tonight to talk about the primary playground / outdoor classroom project that has been talked about and fundraised for at BES for many years. The PTO officers are with me because they are key players in this project. I know Marcy Lynn has been with this project for what, 7 years? If not longer, being involved in the PTO. A little history behind the project. Obviously, we have been fundraising for over 7 years. The original plan for the project was just to develop a kindergarten playground. Not long after that, the outdoor classroom concept was added to that project. In 2012, after they had fundraised, they just took the first step and did the site development conceptual study. It came back that our project that we would like to see developed at BES was going to cost approximately $650,000. Far more, obviously, than what we were going to be able to fundraise for. We did do well. We started with Rock and Read. That's a yearly event. All monies fundraised through Rock and Read are earmarked directly to the kindergarten, or what we're going to consider now a primary playground. And the outdoor classroom, we had Long Burger Basket, Beer Bradley Bingo. That was started 2 years ago by one of our kindergarten teachers, and also the help of the PTO and other parents. We've had private donations come through different families at Bagley. We've had additional smaller fundraisers, and those are like Chick-fil-A nights, Pizza Hut nights. What am I missing with that? Just smaller ones that we decided are earmarked specifically for this project. At this time in our CD, we have approximately $51,000 raised. Not even close to $650,000. So we decided that we were going to kind of break this into phases, and we thought phase 1, a great place would be to start with the primary playground. And we have our kindergarten teachers on board. They are so excited about this because they are tired of mulch being thrown at the playground and their kids getting, potentially getting hurt on something that may not be developmentally appropriate for them. So they have a website that has 80 different grants on it for playground equipment, and they are going to go through each individual grant and apply for as many as possible to help fund the primary playground. The phases that we would like to break this grand project into would be the primary playground, obviously, first. Phase 2, we would like to start on a pavilion area. We do have an area outdoors that has picnic tables and a place for teachers to take their classrooms out and do work, but it's not covered. So our next phase that we would like to do then would be to get that covered, so if it does start to rain, there's some type of weather protection for them. Phase 3, we would like to do the butterfly playground because that correlates directly to part of our second grade curriculum. So these are just some of the phases right now that we are looking at. The kindergarten playground, you can see if you're looking straight at the building, it is in the area where the arrow is. It comes directly, when you come directly out of a kindergarten classroom, it is right in that enclosed area, which we feel is very safe because there's really only one way in and one way out there then. We wouldn't have to fence it in. And like I said, it would not only be used for kindergarten, it would also be used for first grade, which is, the classrooms are right next to that. They're right there in the same vicinity. Our vision would be to have a developmentally appropriate facilities. And the teachers have already started to look at catalogs to find things that would be just that wouldn't be too high off the ground. The slides that have sides on them so that the kids can't fall off either way. We would also like it to be handicap accessible and student friendly. We have many children at Bagley who have walkers or wheelchairs. We want them to be able to play as well. We want them in a swing. We want them to be able to do that as well. So we want to definitely look into handicap accessibility. And we also want it to support our occupational and physical therapies. And in every catalog that we look at, there are pieces of equipment that do just that. So this isn't just about our kindergartners going outside and playing. This supports all of the children. So that, I was told I was allowed 5 slides, and I had to make it quick because Mrs. Spider knows that I could go on and make it very overwhelming. But I was told 5 slides. So if you have any questions at all for me, obviously, or for the PTO, feel free to ask. Mike has also been involved in this project because he was there as well. It started with Dr. Perino too. So it kind of has, there's a history here. So any questions, please feel free to ask. But that's kind
Let
of
me just interject here.
Sure.
Mr. Razo and the team at Bagley had an informal meeting with myself and Mr. Milslegel and some other people involved and, laid this out. And the first direction that we gave to the team at Bagley was to come to Property and Supply and present this information because obviously it is being funded by the PTO. However, it would be done obviously on school property. So Mr. Razo came to Property and Supply this past month and presented there, and Mrs. Kozar felt obviously that it should be presented to the entire board. I think that it is clear, hopefully, that you recognize that this money is all raised money, that there would be no funds having to be spent from the school district. This is totally supported through the PTO and all the fundraising activities that they have done. And they did, she mentioned, they did have a conceptual study done last year or the year before, I can't remember, 2 years ago, that actually outlined all of these phases. But obviously, the money piece is that at this time, they can support the primary playground and would like to start with that. Because as you can well imagine, when you fundraise for 7 years, people start to wonder what is happening with the project and where is it going. So I think that was the idea of breaking it into pieces so people recognize that it's moving forward. So I just wanted to add that.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Thank you.
I'd like to move for the adoption of resolution number 110, the awarding of spring sports bids. Second.
You've got to do something about that. Make that interval somewhat longer.
I just have Ned going in there.
It's been moved and seconded we adopt resolution number 110 to award spring sports bids. Any questions or comments on that motion? All those in favor then please say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? And that passes unanimously.
I move for the adoption of resolution 111, permission to advertise for the 2014-15 general school supply bids.
It's been moved and seconded we adopt resolution number 111. Any questions, discussion, comments on that? All those in favor then please say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? And that passes unanimously also. Thank you, Mrs. Kozar. Student activities and recreation, Dr. Walker.
Just the senior night for wrestling is January 15th, 6:30 and 2:22.
Thank you.
You'll get the other 3 tournaments in January. They're all in February, so we'll put that one in January.
Okay.
Basketball, swim.
Thank you. Community relations, Dr. Zorch.
There's an attachment for the Latrobe Parks and Recreation Commission meeting minutes. That's all.
Thank you, Dr. Zorch. Westmoreland Intermediate Unit, the meeting was canceled in November due to inclement weather, and it was rescheduled for this evening, so obviously I'm not there. And we will, I will make sure that the minutes are part of the next month. Policy PSB Liaison, Mrs. Elder.
How about the GLSD 14?
Awesome. WCTC Joint Operating Committee, Mrs. Kozar.
There's an attachment of the meeting minutes for our last JSC meeting, and I'd like to thank everyone who came for the big meeting.
That was delightful.
It was a great evening, awesome food. And we had, in a similar vein to what Mrs. Reza was talking about Dagwood, we had a representative from Chatham and their Master in Landscape Architecture program. She's a newly minted landscape architect working under registered licensed architect, landscape architect. And they have, through a lot of student input, designed an outdoor classroom as well at UWCTC. And so we got to see the students' drawings, the students' ideas, and potentially what's really going to happen there, and talk about phasing and all those very similar issues. And theirs will include a windmill and some solar panels as well. So, and an opportunity for our students who aren't even at UWCTC to go and use that facility as well. So there's some exciting things happening. So thank you all for coming.
Thank you. Thank you. And Board Policy PSB Liaison, now Mrs. Elder.
Yes, the PSBA liaison part, I'd like to remind you all that you're getting your school leader news daily on your computers. And if you're not, please call Mrs. Lazier and find out why and how to get it. Because it really, when you get in the habit of reading it, it only takes a couple of minutes, really, because it's always in exactly the same format, and it does keep you informed of what is happening with PSBA, and that's where I heard the things about the charter school, and so it does keep you, it kind of balances all the other news that you get from like the newspaper, and what PSBA might be doing with that news. I'd like to move for adoption of resolution number 112, notice of intent to adopt revisions to board policies number 222 and number 323, tobacco use for pupils and employees. And if you look at the attachments, you will see that we have not significantly altered the policies. All that we have done is put in the phrase electronic cigarettes as part of the things that we don't want our students or our employees to be using on school property. And we did review a number of other school districts' policies that had much more extensive things, and one of them was definitions. And I always think that the more you try to define something, the more likely somebody is to try to find an exception to your definition. So just call it, and that's it. Everybody knows what electronic cigarettes are, so that's what we're talking about. I need a second.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. We adopt resolution number 112. Any comments or discussion on the motion? Questions? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? And that passes unanimously. And we move to transportation. And Mr. Music, are you going to chair that committee?
I have no report tonight.
Okay. Thank you very much. Technology, Mr. Palmer.
Thank you, Madam President. No report tonight, but our next technology meeting is January 14th at 6 p.m. here.
Thank you. Superintendent's recommendations, Mrs.
I'd ask the board to move on resolution number 113, which is to accept the resignation of Casey Regino.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. We adopt resolution number 113. Any questions or comments? All those in favor then please say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? And that passes unanimously.
And I'd ask the board to move on on resolution number 114, which is the support personnel appointments classified that are listed. Richard Kazusko, Alexandra Meyer, and Melissa Aaron.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. We adopt resolution number 114. Any questions, comments, or discussion? All those in favor then please say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? And that passes unanimously. Under other business, the Breakfast of Champions will be held on Thursday, December the 19th at 7:30 a.m. in the senior high school faculty dining room, and that's a nice event, so if anyone can attend. Are they supposed to make reservations? No? Show up. And there's quite a list of holiday programs there. Next Tuesday, as was already announced, the band and choral concert at 7 p.m. In the auditorium. And then the junior high has a 7th grade band and 7th and 8th grade chorus and choral cats on Tuesday the 10th. I guess that's tonight. We missed it. The 8th and 9th grade band and the 9th grade chorus on Thursday the 12th at 7 p.m. The holiday assembly is Friday the 13th. That's at the junior high, and then the choral cat schedule is listed for you there if you would like to see any of that. And Bagley Elementary School has a winter concert and a 1st grade program and a 2nd grade program. Lots of things for you to attend. Latrobe Elementary School holiday concerts on Thursday the 19th, and they are listed there. You can attend any or all. And Mountain View Elementary School, the band concert is on Wednesday, December the 11th, 7 p.m. for parents. Kindergarten program on Wednesday the 18th, 10 a.m. for the school. And the choral concert, 5th and 6th grade, Wednesday the 18th at 7 p.m. And the kindergarten program, Thursday the 19th for the parents, and a choral concert for 5th and 6th grade, Thursday the 19th at 10:30 a.m. for the school. Sounds wonderful. You can have any room in your schedule to attend any of that. I'm sure it will be very enjoyable. The January Committee of the Whole meeting will be held on Tuesday, January 14th at 7:30 with an executive session at 6:30. And the January regular meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, January the 21st at 7:30 p.m. again with an executive session at 6:30. And now it is time for hearing of visitors part 2. If anyone in the audience wishes to address the board on anything this evening, please approach the podium and state your name and address. I see no one. Before we move to adjourn, I want to wish everyone a very happy and blessed holiday. I hope you enjoy your break and ready to be back. Happy New Year to everyone too. And we'll see you in January. Do I hear a motion to adjourn? You did. All those in favor of adjourning, please say aye. Aye.